Hello, everyone. I am Abby McGarry, Editorial Director of GPN. Thank you so much for joining us today for the start of this year's New Varieties Week. Throughout the week, we are very excited to showcase some incredible introductions for next season. Today's webinar is brought to you by Suntory Flowers. Delilah Onofre is here to present Suntory's newest varieties, many of which debuted last month at California Spring Trials. Before we get started, I want to make this a little bit interactive. So we're going to take a quick poll. I would love to know if anyone was able to get out to California for cast this year. So you should be able to answer yes or no right there on your screen. All right, let's see. Let's see as they come through. All right, it looks like most of you were not able to get out to California this year. So you are in for a real treat because Suntory Flowers had a new location this year at the Santa Barbara Polo Club. And Delilah is going to take us on a video tour of that location as well. And for the 20% or so of you who were able to make it out to cast this year, this will be a great refresher on all their new varieties, as well as an in-depth look at some of them. Before I turn things over to Delilah, I want to encourage you to ask questions throughout her presentation using the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. We should be able to get to most, if not all of them, at the end of the presentation. Also, we are recording this webinar and we'll have it up on gpnmag.com, so you'll be able to rewatch the presentation or share it with your friends and colleagues. Without further ado then, I'm going to turn it over to Delilah. Take it away, Delilah.
Thanks, Abby. Yes, yeah, we had a really great new location for California Spring Trials, a lot of great new varieties. So I will get to that and share the presentation. All right. So Suntory Flowers is based in Japan, phenomenal breeding company, many revolutionary brands. In fact, the product that started Suntory Flowers is Surfinia petunias, and more than 30 years later, still one of our top products. So I'm going to kick off the presentation with Sonetti Paratalis, which is our early spring crop. We promote it as cool colors for the cool season. And so as you can see here, we're known for the beautiful, vivid colors and in shades of blue and magenta. So the core varieties are blue bicolor, magenta bicolor, magenta and deep blue. So that's the first generation of breeding. The newer generation is more compact and floriferous, so more controlled habit, higher flower count. Also, we've been doing some color changing varieties recently. The Magic Salmon has been very well received, and Magic Merlot and Rose Glow. So these, like you open one color and then the center expands to another color. So that's been a really nice new addition. New for this year, we've got the White Red Heart and Blue Halo. So overall, Cinetti is excellent for the cool weather and great container performance. And in cooler climates, when you get the plants early enough, you can also cut it back to get another flush of blooms. So here we have the White Red Heart. You can see, look at the bright white daisy flowers in that velvety red center, truly unique. And as the newer breeding, this is more of what we call medium vigor, needs less PGR than the traditional varieties, compact, tighter growth. And that beautiful velvet red center, we think for the early markets, it would be an excellent Valentine's Day promotion. You have a gorgeous ruby red pot and maybe a nice Valentine's Day tag with it. So it times with the core varieties. next we have Blue Halo. And so we have several blues in the Cinetti series. We've got blue, deep blue, super blue. We're like, do we need another blue? And we fell in love with this blue, and we think it will be the one that the market gravitates to. So it has medium vigor, needs less PGR than the traditional varieties. And so as you can see, the blue flower, it is a really gorgeous, like delphinium type of blue. And in the center, you can see that white ring, it's the white halo. And we've also found this new variety has really good stock performance at the farms. So that in itself is another good reason to introduce. So one thing we've done, so we have 20 Cinetti varieties, including 4 of the baby, the most compact series. So in our new catalog, we have a page that sorts the varieties by vigor and timing. So the control variety for all these is magenta. And so most of the varieties line up with week 12 with magenta, but we have some that are earlier or later, as you can see on the chart. So this is a very useful tool in our catalog, and you can also go to the link online to view that page. And so we're working closely with the farms on the performance of the stock plants. In the peak weeks, Cinetti can get harvested very heavily, which, can weaken the plant. So we are now have a Cinetti Select program. So out of the 16 main varieties, 10 are rated as Cinetti Select. So when you're making decisions on varieties, this is a good thing to keep in mind is with your supply as far as, which is the better option. Let's see. So do we have any questions on Cinetti at this point? Okay, so Surfinia petunias. One new category we're excited about is what we call the Heavenly group, inspired by the Heavenly Blue Petunia, one of the top sellers. So we call this the Happy Medium, the Grower Friendly series. So Heavenly Blue and Deep Red are our 2 top sellers. And last year we introduced the Heavenly Cabernet. And for next year, we've got the Heavenly Amethyst Burst. So medium controlled, mounding, semi-trailing growth habit. Growers really love this the best, but we also have the outstanding performance through the summer for the consumer. Medium to large blooms, earlier to bloom than the classic trailing varieties. And, as I said, excellent garden performance. So here's the Heavenly Amethyst Burst, very nice response during spring trials. People love, the light purple flowers and the dark contrast. It's a really beautiful pattern. And again, a nice controlled mounding semi-trailing growth, outstanding garden performance. So here you can see Heavenly Amethyst Burst in the trial beds at Costa Farms this past March, and how it stacks up with Heavenly Blue, Deep Red, and Heavenly Cabernet. Another new direction in the Surfinia breeding is the Xxl Petunia series. And so here is the Xxl Taffy Pink, and this is the first year on the market right now, and we're really pleased with the uptake and performance. So these blooms are very large. They're span up to 4 inches, but the vigor is very tight and controlled upright mounding. So we have the Sumo series that's very vigorous, for the huge city baskets and landscape petunia, where these, it's more controlled, but you get a very big flower. We have 2 new colors for 2023, Xxl Salmon Vein and Xxl Watermelon Jazz. And this is also the first Surfinia series that's truly day length neutral, which is great for the early markets. It's also a heavy feeder, great container basket and garden performance, but you're not going to get the big trailing habit. And like all the Surfinias, bred for weather and rain tolerance. So here's a look at the Watermelon Jazz. It's really nice, large watermelon red pink color. So again, the big blooms, upright habit, day length neutral. And the salmon vein, to me, this is like a lobster color. We've been looking at this one for a while, and also, very large blooms, very different color and vegetative petunias. And this was also at Costa Farms in the beds. So these beds were planted in December, and in April, they still have really strong color. It didn't fade out in the Miami heat. And here for the Xxl Taffy Pink, this is a really good comparison last summer at Metrolina's trial gardens. So side by side, you see the more compact, large flowered Taffy Pink next to the Sumo, the real spilling, vigorous landscape petunia. So right there is the difference in the growth. And we're doing a sample program right now. We're sending out the 3-inch plants to broker sales reps and garden media people. And here you can see the Taffy Pink blooms are like bigger than the pot compared to Sumo. So these are just huge consistently. We are also very thrilled that the Dallas Arboretum planted 2,700 of Xxl Taffy Pink for the spring planting this year. And to see a new variety they'll take this way, that is really something. So very happy with this intro. Okay, that's all for Surfinia. Now we're moving on to the Granvia Bracteantha, a newer series for us. So these are the supersized straw flowers, much bigger plant, bigger flower. I affectionately call it a Bracteanthosaurus. So the Granvia Gold's been on the market for a few years now, won trial, like Best in Show trial awards at trial gardens all throughout the country, doing well from Florida all the way up to Minnesota. People are seeing the disease resistance to mildew. In fact, unsolicited, the trial managers will say, hey, no mildew. They see the difference in this breeding with the more open habit in the foliage. We have 3 new colors for next year: Harvest Orange, Pink, and Peachy Cane. And so we showed these at exhibitions and garden trials last summer to get feedback, and people said, yeah, we want more colors. So you can see those here. This Harvest Orange, especially nice for fall, this beautiful color. We're encouraging fall programs with these. It's just with the texture and feel. It's an alternative, to go with mums and the other fall offerings. So here the height and timing matches the Granvia Gold perfectly. There's, again, high vigor, extra large flowers. And you don't want to go any smaller than a gallon on these. The Peachy Cane has what I call like an iced tea and lemonade, like Arnold Palmer type of look, 2-tone, peach and yellow. So this has also been a favorite, and temperature kind of influences how peachy it is. But this pairs with the new Granvia Pink. So we're also trialing out some combinations in the trials this summer. Then here, Granvia Pink, really nice bold pink color and super straw flower, and shows the mildew resistance traits we've been noticing. Outstanding habit and flower power. So this is also in our bed at Costa this year. You can just see all the large flowers there across the series. And they had extra plants that they did some display beds, tucked in with the tropicals. So that was a nice focal point. And then this was last summer at Colorado State, all 4 colors in the beds. Okay, now on to Surdiva scavolas. Now these are one of our fastest growing lines. People really appreciate the controlled growth, the outstanding floral coverage of the fan flowers. So blue violet's by far the top seller. White Improved gets the top landscape awards every year in the trials. We also have the Fashion Pink, purple, and sky blue. But now we have the new Lilac Mist. I fell in love with this color. So it's nice to have another light color value to mix in. So now we have 6 that can mix and match in the combos. Just an excellent plant. Fits the growth habit and timing of the current series. We still offer 2 of the classic varieties, the blue that's always been on the market, as well as the classic pink that has the more horizontal growth. So we think this is a really nice addition to the mix and unique in Scaevola. So the Cerdiva Suntory mixers have been a big hit for summer combos. The Disco Diva, we have the blue violet, fashion pink, and white improved. Bluesy Diva, we swap out the pink for the sky blue. And in the summer trials this year, we're swapping out the pink and the blue for the new purple, and that has looked really nice. And because Cerdiva plays well with others, it's good mixed with other plants. In our Bee Dance collection of Suntory mixers, we have the Bee Daring as a favorite. We've got the blue violet with Surfinia deep red and Bee Dance red stripe. Really nice, sharp primary color combo. And Mass Junk Plants also uses Cerdiva in its combos, and so just the white is a nice bright filler that makes the other colors pop, and easy care all summer. Now we're on to some groundbreaking new marketing we're doing. I don't know how many of you know, but Suntory Holdings is primarily a beverage company, world famous for whiskey, but also non-alcoholic beverages. And one of the products is Orangina, which goes back to 1936 in France, this sparkling citrus beverage. So we have an opportunity. We named a new Million Bells variety, Orangina. So we're going to do some marketing programs. So what is Orangina? It's a sparkling citrus beverage owned by Schweppes, produced by Pepsi Bottling Ventures and Suntory Holdings. So many of you may have tried it before. We had tastings at Cast, and so the whole idea is shake up the everyday with your beverages. So the Million Bells Orangina plant is a really nice true orange color. Earlier we've had the crackling fire and terracotta that were some of the early Million Bells, where this is a really nice orange. And plus we have, well, do we just introduce a Million Bells orange, or do we something really cool like Orangina? So we decided, let's do something cool with Orangina. So nice trailing semi-mounding habit, great performance in containers, baskets, and in the ground, like all Million Bells, selected for garden performance. So we think this is going to be a great addition. And it's also a unique opportunity to make a splash at retail. So if you're a grower that serves grocery stores, supermarkets, any place that stocks Orangina, wouldn't this be a fun promotion? And major national and international retailers like Walmart also carry Orangina in some markets. So really any retailer that sells plants and beverages could do something fun. An independent garden center could have some kind of fun event where they happen to have the beverage. I'd like to see some potting parties with mimosas. I think would be a lot of fun. So that's a fun new activity. Now we'll get on to the tour of Cast presented by my colleague Laurentina McCoy.
Welcome to Cast 2022. I'm Laurentina McCoy with Suntory Flowers. We're here in Santa Barbara at the Polo Club, and we are going to go on a virtual tour of our display. Starting off, we have 2 new varieties in the Cinetti line. We have the Cinetti Blue Halo and the white with red heart. These are part of a newer breeding with Cinetti, so you get a denser plant, more flowers, and a little bit better disease resistance. You'll see here on the blue halo, really nice electric blue with kind of that white halo around the center, almost iridescent looking. And the white red heart, really crisp white with a really dark red, so just a really nice contrast. Moving on, in Surfinia, we have the new Heavenly Amethyst Burst. This is a great grower-friendly variety, as well as the other Heavenly series varieties. This one is a really nice light lilac with a really dark burgundy throat, just a really great contrast. These are very easy to grow, early to flower, and a nice medium-sized bloom. Also new with Surfinia, we have the Xxl line, which was introduced last year with the Taffy Pink. So this year, new joining the Taffy Pink is the Xxl Salmon Vein and the Xxl Watermelon Jazz. These are a nice upright mounding controlled habit with a huge bloom. So the bloom is about 9.5 centimeters, which is about 4 inches. So you get a nice ball of color without the large, monstrous vigor. These are also day length neutral, so no need for extra lighting. Our next new intro is an exciting first for Suntory Flowers, but also Suntory. It is our first co-branding that we've done with the beverage side of the company. So we have the Million Bells Orangina. So this is a really nice orange Calibrachoa trailing, great for baskets and gardens. It also does well with other genus and combos. So a very nice orange option for the color. And then the Orangina brand is iconic. It has just come to North America in 2021. So if you have customers that service supermarkets or can work on co-branding, that's very exciting to do with the drink and the plant. "2022 marks the 20th anniversary of the Sun Parasol brand. Last year we had the new introduction, Sunbeam. This is first yellow for Suntory, but also for the market. And the market response has just been phenomenal. This is a more Diplodenia type, so upright bush habit, just a really nice yellow flower, and it just continues to bloom on and on and on. Related to the Sun Parasol line is our Sundenia category. The Sundenia Crimson, particularly within that category, has been a great trellising variety. We have started to see more and more growers switch over to this variety because it is faster, a little bit earlier to bloom, and it's just such a great crimson red color. And lastly, new for 23, we have 3 new colors in the Granvia line. I'm holding here the new Peachy Cane. We also have Granvia Pink and Granvia Harvest Orange. These are all large-bodied, large-flower brachyanthes that last from spring all the way to the first frost. And that concludes our tour for 22. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing everybody next year.
Okay, well, that was great. Hope you all enjoyed. It's really fun being there for a week and looking forward to next year. So I'll close out with some of the resources on our website. We have our 2023 catalog. You can link there and see it as a flipping book or as a PDF. We also have, a host of catalogs and brochures, photo library. You can download and use pictures, downloadable POP, bench cards, and posters. New just for retailers section that organizes these resources by brands. So let's say you want to do some social media about some parasol. Well, there's some ready-made things you could post. And there's also an archive of our weekly Variety View e-newsletter and also a link to supply sources and availabilities. So that ends my presentation. I'm happy to take questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Delilah. Quite a lot of great information. We have had some questions come in already that we'll get to in just a second. And I want to encourage you to continue submitting your questions with the Q&A button, which is at the bottom of the screen. So feel free to keep submitting them now. And Delilah would love to answer them. Before we get to the Q&A portion though, and when these varieties are all fresh in your mind, we're going to do one more poll. So come back to your computer, get your mice out, click which variety are you most excited to offer in 2023? So here are the 10 that Delilah just talked about. I saw quite the trend toward larger blooms, which is very exciting. And some of those striking colors. I felt like that when you said that lobster color, I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a perfect comparison there. I loved, yes. And the Arnold Palmer, there were a lot of good things to think about. All right, so as those come through, wonderful. And before we close out today, I'll share with you the top 2 that you all are most excited about.
I can't wait to see.
Perfect. Let's see. All right, so then our first question, Delilah, and like I said, keep asking more. First one, are trial cuttings available for the new Granvia colors?
Yeah, so we do have very limited quantities. Happy to work with people on. So if someone wants to do a fall program, Granvia Gold is in strong supply, but if you want to try some of the new varieties, happy, Laurentina and I would be happy to help arrange it with one of the cuttings farms.
Okay, perfect. Another question we had was, I had a hard time getting Million Bells this year. Will the new Million Bells Orangina be widely available?
Yes, so this is something, of course, we addressed if we're going to have this big promotion with Orangina. So we've Kinsler in North America and Nova Plant, they are ramping up. We told them to be ready. We're doing a big push. Retailers might pick it up. We gotta have the supply. So they are aware of it, and also and Cohen is also another source for Million Bells. So we're on it, and regret the disruptions that happened this past season.
Perfect. Yes. Someone else, when we're on the Orangina, someone else just said, any more co-branding opportunities you see?
Yeah, so this will be, we're just getting started. So I think, we're really enjoying working with the people at Pepsi Bottling Ventures. They've been, so supportive of this whole idea. So, and, we got, the licensing and rights to do this for the Orangina. So I could see, more colors coming because there are other flavor spinoffs of Orangina. So I know everybody dreams to also on the Beam Suntory side with Jim Beam and Maker's Mark, of course, people dream about that. But we're getting more and more engaged with the beverage division. So this is just the beginning of, I think, something that only Suntory could uniquely do.
100%. It sounds like a good stay tuned, right?
Yeah.
All right. We have another question that says, we are in the Midwest. Do you have growers near us that sell your products? We buy a lot from Winky Greenhouse and Hymos. Yeah,
those are both 2 excellent choices. And so in addition to them, we've got Raker, Plant Peddler, DGI, Malmberg. So lots of sources. I'm happy to, and in fact, on our website, on the supply sources, we do have a list of minor growers too. But yep, we're well represented in the Midwest.
Perfect, great. Another one we have here is, in person at Cast, was there one variety that people were most excited about or gravitated to when they saw it?
Yeah, I think I know we got a lot of questions on the XXLs from the international visitors, where so far it's only in our market. So it's like, oh, you're not gonna be able to get them. But so like, yeah, there was a lot of interest in the new Surfinia XXL series, and and also the Surfinia Amethyst burst. It's a really beautiful plant, and because that style of Surfinia is already a top seller, so people are eager to add it.
For sure, for sure. We had another just comment that I thought I'd share. Someone said, yellow sun parasol is beautiful.
Yeah, that we knocked it out of the park. But that was the biggest introduction in my 10 years with Suntory. Just huge, and at retail right now. Really strong first year, and it's just the demand is just off the charts for that one. The Sunbeam.
For sure, for sure. All right, I'm going to tell you the results of our which new variety are you most excited to offer. So it's a little bit of a tie, I'm not going to lie, but we have a couple that were standouts. The first one being Cinetti White Red Heart.
Oh, excellent.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Also, the Surfinias, both Amethyst Burst and Watermelon Jazz were at the
Oh, cool. Excellent.
great ones. And then Cerdima Lilac Mist. So those were our top ones.
Yeah, yes. I fell in love with Lilac Mist. It's really pretty, and it's definitely a girly color, but yeah, very pretty. And,
I feel like in the mixes though, it's so dynamic. When you were showing photos of the mixes, Cerdima in general, I love in the mixes, but that Lilac Mist, I imagine, is going to be really pretty.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect. Okay. Wow, I think we have covered all the questions. Let me just confirm really quick. As I look, is there anything else you wanted to mention, Delilah?
No, one thing, we had some recent news that we partnered with American Bloom to do a social media photo contest, and it's the whole idea is for the cities and towns to show how they are vibrant and alive with flowers. So so if you're in a town that does really nice community plantings and you want to share, you go on, you make a little photo album with captions explaining them, post it to Facebook or Instagram, and also tag the American Bloom and Suntory Flowers pages, and then you will have a chance to win 210 21 cell sun parasols next year to plant in your town. So.
Yes, definitely take a look. I know both on GPN Mag and on lgrmag.com, we have all the information on that one as well.
Yeah.
So a very exciting social media contest.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
For sure. All right, perfect. I think we've covered all of the questions then, so we can start to wrap things up. I want to say thank you so much again, Delilah and Suntory Flowers, for a fantastic presentation. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this presentation was recorded and will be available on demand. So we'll let you know when you can access that on our website, gpnmag.com. And don't forget, today is just the start of New Varieties Week. So please come back tomorrow to learn about some more new introductions. Don't forget to register for all these additional sessions on our website as well, gpnmag.com. So on behalf of everyone here at GPN, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, Abby.